Nvidia's GPU lineup looks simple until you actually try to pick one. RTX, GTX, 4060, 5090, Ti, Super, VRAM, ray tracing. What does any of it mean, and how do you avoid overpaying for something you don't actually need? Let's break it all down. GTX versus RTX. If you shopped for a GPU before, you've seen both GTX and RTX. These aren't just name changes, they represent two completely different eras. GTX was Nvidia's brand for years. Cards like the GTX 1060, 1070, and 1080 are some of the most popular GPUs ever made, and you'll still find them in a lot of builds today. GTX cards are built around traditional rendering, the way games have always displayed graphics on screen. RTX launched in 2018 and introduced two things that changed everything: ray tracing and DLSS. Ray tracing is how light actually works in real life. Bounce off surfaces, real reflections, accurate shadows. Traditional rendering fakes all of this with clever tricks that have been used since the 90s. Ray tracing calculates it properly in real time, which is why games with it enabled look noticeably more realistic, especially reflections and lighting in games like Cyberpunk 2027 or Alan Wake 2. The catch is that ray tracing is demanding. Running it properly tanks your frame rates. That's where DLSS comes in, deep learning supersampling. Instead of rendering at full resolution and brute forcing performance, DLSS uses AI to render at a lower resolution and intelligently upscale it to look like native resolution. The result is that you get the visual quality without the full performance cost. DLSS has improved a lot since 2018. If you're buying new today, you're buying RTX. GTX is only relevant in the used market for budget builds. How the numbers work. Take an RTX 4070. The first number, 4, is the generation. The last two numbers, 70, tell you the performance tier within that generation. That's it. That's the whole system. Generations go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Each new generation brings better performance, new features, and better efficiency. The 50 series is the newest as of 2026, built on Nvidia's Blackwell architecture. The tiers work like this. 50 tier, entry level. A 4050 or 5050 will run games, but you'll regularly be dropping settings to hit smooth frame rates. Fine for older titles and lighter games, not great for anything demanding. 60 tier, this is where things get comfortable. A 4060 or 5060 is built for 1080p gaming. Most modern games on high settings, esports titles running smoothly, no major compromises. It's the most popular tier for a reason. It hits the right balance of price and performance for most people. One honest caveat though, the RTX 5060 launched with only 8GB of VRAM at $299, and in 2026 that's already getting tight in some games. More on VRAM in a minute. 70 tier, the sweet spot. A 4070 or 5070 gives you comfortable 1440p gaming, higher frame rates, and enough headroom for demanding games without constantly dropping settings. If you're serious about gaming and can stretch the budget, this is where most people should land. 80 and 90 tier, high-end. These are built for 4K, maxing everything out or running the most demanding games at the highest settings possible. A 5090 isn't just a bit faster than a 5070, it's a completely different class of card at a completely different price. The RTX 5090 launched at $2,999 and was almost impossible to find at that price due to supply issues. These cards exist for people who want the absolute best regardless of cost. So when you're comparing two cards, the tier number often matters more than anything else. A higher tier older card can and will outperform a lower tier newer one. A 4070 beats a 5060 in most games, even though the 5060 is a newer generation. Never assume newer automatically means better.
Ti and Super. You'll see cards with Ti or Super in the name. These aren't new tiers, they fill the gaps between them. Ti means the card is a step up from the standard version. A 4070 Ti is stronger than a 4070, more cores, higher performance, but still sits below the 4080. It exists because the gap between tiers can be large, and not everyone wants to pay the jump from a 70 to an 80. Super is a refresh, a slightly improved version of an existing card, sometimes more cores, sometimes better memory. The RTX 4070 Super was one of the best value cards of the 40 series, offering noticeably better performance than the standard 4070 at a competitive price. Super versions are worth paying attention to because they often hit a better price to performance point than the cards directly above them. VRAM, why it matters more than people think. VRAM is your GPU's own dedicated memory. It's separate from your system RAM, and it's where the GPU stores everything it needs to draw a frame: textures, geometry, lighting data, all of it. When a game runs out of VRAM, it has to pull data from system RAM, which is dramatically slower. The result isn't just lower frame rates, it's stuttering. The game might average a fine frame rate, but feel horrible to play because every few seconds it's pulling data it doesn't have locally, and you feel it as a hitch. That's a VRAM problem, and it shows up in specific areas of games rather than consistently, which makes it harder to diagnose. For 1080p gaming in 2026, 8 gigabytes is the bare minimum and already showing its limits in some titles. 12 gigabytes is the comfortable target. For 1440p, 12 gigabytes minimum and 16 gigabytes is better. For 4K, 16 gigabytes and above. This is worth paying attention to with the 50 series specifically. The RTX 5060 launched with 8 gigabytes. The RTX 5070 launched with 12 gigabytes. Both have been criticized for VRAM amounts that feel conservative for their price points. The RTX 5060 Ti 16 gigabytes exists, and reviewers noted it outperforms the 8 gigabyte 5060 by up to 65% in VRAM-heavy scenarios. Not because it's dramatically more powerful, but because the 8 gigabyte model is simply running out of memory. More VRAM is always better. Don't buy a card with less than you need just because the rest of the specs look good. Comparing across generations. This is where most people get it wrong. A 4070 versus a 5060. The 4070 sits higher in its generation. In most real-world gaming scenarios, it will match or beat the 5060, even though the 5060 is technically newer. Tier defines the level, generation refines it. So when should you actually go for a newer generation over a higher tier older card? When you care about newer features specifically, DLSS 4, better ray tracing performance, longer driver support, and efficiency improvements that mean lower power consumption. These are real advantages, but if your priority is raw gaming performance per dollar, a previous generation higher tier card at a discounted price after a new launch can be the smarter buy. Always compare actual benchmark results at your target resolution rather than assuming the generation number tells you everything. Laptop GPUs. This is one of the most common ways people get misled. An RTX 4070 in a laptop is not the same as a desktop RTX 4070, not even close. Laptop GPUs use identical names to desktop cards, but run at much lower power to fit in a thin chassis. A desktop RTX 4070 runs at around 200 watts. A laptop version might run at 80 to 115 watts. That's a massive difference in performance. Two laptops with the same RTX 4070 can also perform very differently from each other depending on how the manufacturer set the power limit. A premium gaming laptop from Asus might configure it at 115 watts, while a thinner budget option runs it at 80 watts. Same GPU name, very different results. Always check the wattage when comparing gaming laptops, not just the GPU name on the spec sheet. So what should you actually buy? For 1080p gaming, a 4060 or 5060 Ti 16 gigabytes. If budget is tight, a used 3070 or 4060 is still a strong 1080p card. Avoid the 5060 8 gigabytes specifically. The VRAM situation is already limiting it in 2026. For 1440p gaming, a 4070 Super or 5070. For 4K gaming, a 5080 or 4090 if you can find one at a reasonable price. The 5090 is the fastest consumer GPU ever made, but it's only for people who genuinely need the absolute top end. And one thing people forget, a powerful GPU needs a strong CPU to match it. If you pair a 5080 with an older mid-range CPU, the CPU becomes the bottleneck and you won't get the performance you paid for. To zoom out, RTX is the current lineup. GTX is the previous gen, still fine used, not worth buying new. The first number is the generation, the last two are the performance tier. Higher tier beats newer generation more often than people expect. Ti and Super fill the gaps between tiers. VRAM matters. Don't go below 12 gigabytes for anything serious in 2026. Laptop GPUs share names with desktop cards but are not the same thing, and the biggest mistake is assuming bigger numbers always mean better value.